Are you in desperate need of chrono crystals? Even if you're not, this video is sure to help you get the amount you want to give you a better chance of obtaining the new Legends Festival 2024 characters, Legends Limited transforming Goku Black, Rosé, and Vegito Blue. Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here, we're doing a chrono crystal guide, what to do if you want but didn't get. We haven't done this in a long time, so I thought I'd bring it back. I've just been ducking it because I can't do this for every single character. But there's a lot of ways to get chrono crystals right now since it's the festival, so I thought I should spin back and run it. Let's get into this. Alright, so the first thing I want to get into is basically all the new stuff that they're bringing out for the festival. So the first thing is that the reveals and stuff will be giving us 500 chrono crystals. You'll probably get this coming from next week, so Wednesday, that's what I'm presuming. So just keep checking your gift box or check the news. It will also be posted on Twitter on their DBL Legends page, so you can find out when they do give those out. But there's a lot of events coming with the festival and they post them in the reveals and stuff. For example, here we have the festival challenge, so you're guaranteed to get once every 3 days. You have a chance. Marvelous Mondays, so make sure to log in on the Monday upcoming. Then going further, we have the raid. Some of these I might go into more detail later into this video, but just showing you because it's all in the reveals and stuff. They spoke about it when we're watching the reveals and stuff. Nobody really wants to pay attention too much, but this is important, you know. Challenge battle 500cc, you can get 400 here extra for the missions, and then 700 every single raid. There's a raid on right now, and then even further they're going to bring back the hoi poi. Hoi poi is going to be active. There's also going to be special missions where you can get up to 4,000 extra, which is good. That's actually insane. In fact, it's the biggest amount. I think it's going to be the easiest way to get festival medals is to play raid. So if you want to get festival medals fast, play the raid. And then here we have the champion bonus as well. That's pretty much all the chrono crystal parts that they've showed in the festival. But if you want to be very, very extra, you know, when the equipment lands, you get a first time 10 chrono crystal. When this is here, it's in the ultimate equipment collection. 10 chrono crystals for your first time clear, I believe. So yeah, that's pretty much everything new, but I'm going to guide you through the things that you can do that are pretty much always in the game, but things change here and there. The easiest way to get chrono crystals right now is the raid. You can easily access 700 chrono crystals from playing the raid. The raid is very simple. If you go to the exchange shop, so I'm going to open it up here. It's the first one up there, non-stop raid. You can even get LZ power, but the chrono crystals here, there's going to be 700 behind there. If you want to learn more about it, basically you're going to need to have some boost units, which the raid, the system that it works on, I really hate it because it requires you to have the new units to get more medals, so you can get chrono crystals which will help you get more new units. It's a pretty crappy system, but whatever. Let's talk about this first one though. You can see all the rewards and stuff, and essentially based on the characters you have, if you have more of them, you can get a higher percentage for your drop rate, but it's also the drop amount. So you want to try get the drop rate to at least 100%. So if you had Rosé and Vegito, 2 of those is 100%, and that's pretty much all you need. But then most of them are similar in terms of the drop rate and the drop amount. You want to try get the drop amount the highest while having the drop rate the highest it can be, because sometimes if your drop rate isn't 100%, you might not get any medals when you play, which is obviously inconvenient. It's basically hyperdimensional co-op, but you're continuously doing it. The enemy dies pretty much as long as you sync up with rising rushes. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Just keep doing it. You get the raid medals, then you can exchange them for what the things you need, which is what you're looking for here, chrono crystals. Very simple. Just take your time with it. I think this one lasts a while. Let me actually check. Oh, I accidentally pressed co-op. Hold on. How long does it last? It lasts a week. There's going to be multiple. I believe Toshi said there's 7. So 7 giving 700 chrono crystals. 5, sorry, giving 700 chrono crystals. It's going to be 3,500. This one here is mainly for the newer players. But if you go to your character list, soul boosting gives you a bunch of chrono crystals. It's probably the biggest way to get chrono crystals, especially if you're an early game player. Just bear in mind that after 200,000 boost panels, you could not get chrono crystals from this method, but it's going to take you a while to get there if you just started the game. So souls, you probably have a bunch of them and you can access them easily through the events, but I'll go to that later. But essentially what you're going to want to do is change this thing here. I usually have it as element, but change it to unlocked boost panels. Press OK. Then you can see everybody's boost panels now. Ignore the characters that can be Zenkai'd. So if you want to do that so it's easier, even change this to not applicable, right? Then you can see all the guys down here, right? All of the ones that you have. Maybe start with the Legends Limited and Ultra specifically. So in this case, I'm even going to go Legends Limited. And make sure you soul boost all of these, because these are the guys you're most likely going to be using most of the time. And every time you're doing it, it's very simple. So let me find somebody that I haven't soul boosted. Let me just change all of this off, and I'll just turn all of these on. Then I'll scroll to the bottom, right? You see these guys at the bottom. I'll use Cable, for example. When I press Soul Boost, it's literally just 2 buttons. It's going to take all the resources it requires. It's actually not a bunch, especially if you've been playing story mode. You'll probably have a bunch from just in events in general, but the story mode drops souls as well, especially early doors. Press the Soul Boost button, and right, just like that, that's 400 and what? It's 426 off that. And I can keep doing that up to 200,000, and I believe for every 100, it's literally 10 chrono crystals. So just for that one character, it's minimum 4. And it's 426, so you can keep going, and it's going to be doing that stack effect. If you want to get souls on the upgrade, go to red, yellow, purple, green, blue. You can get them all here. I advise you specifically use these on the weekend because it's going to give you double. Well, it's something like that, so make use of that. And if you want to clear the missions for it, you go to the Z mission section, and it'll be in this segment here where it'll say something like boost panels, soul boost panels done, or something like that, and you can claim them. I don't actually recommend this method, but this method is useful if you are in the trenches. If you're really trying to get those chrono crystals out the mud, this one can be useful. It's called equipment rolling, and what it banks on is you getting consistent Z's on an equipment. Now, if it's Z or higher, even if it's A or higher, I think it's S or higher actually, you'll get chrono crystals for every 5, 10, and after a certain while, it's even like 100 for the S's and A and above, sorry. So I have this example here, right? And some equipments, if you're new to the game, they have these slots where you can only get 1 of 3 options. So if we look at this one here, it's like percentage based, 5 to 8%. I'll get a number between there. All of these are percentage based, but this one isn't percentage based. Either you're going to get inflicted damage 10%, you're going to get the second one 20%, or the third one, which has 3, which is the best one. Now, the equipments, because they work like that, essentially are more likely to get a Z or higher. So in this case, if I just upgrade it just to show you, I go to the bottom one, you're going to want to get a red slot on the first one. The middle slot can just be decent. Then the third slot can be whatever. I'm going to reroll 4 times just to show you. And no matter what happens, I'll do it slowly. No matter what happens, it will keep going to a Z at minimum. As you can see, it's the green if it hits the lowest. If it hits the second one, it will just still be a Z or a Z plus. So I'll be adding to my equipment tally. And then as you keep stacking these, right, and that, if you go to the menu, then you go to missions, and then in the Z mission tab over here, you will see that there's going to be a mission that says equipment to A rank or higher, and I can get chrono crystals for them. I have a bunch, so you can quickly grind those out. If you don't care about equipments and slot removers, you can just keep re-rolling those. It's going to require a bit of Zenny and some souls, but you can easily keep doing those. And there's a bunch of equipments that have that requirement, so I'll show you where you can get them. If you go to Ultimate Equipment Collection, Bardock and Goku is going to be one of them. Not all of them here have them. You got to check for the free segments that the equipment has. Bardock and Goku is going to be one of them. I think this new Super Saiyan 3 one has it. Yeah, you can see at the bottom it has it. And then there's going to be a bunch of others at the bottom, but not everyone. So Gamma 1 and 2, Blue Bros, Trunks and Vegeta, Vegeta Blue. This Super Saiyan Goku. Piccolo doesn't. I think UI Sign does. I think Orange Piccolo does. Blue Bros does. Just for some examples, but you can pretty much tell the difference. Just get one. Make sure the first slot's a red slot, especially right now in the Bonanza. It's going to be easy to get. Make sure the second slot is just decent enough. And even if the third slot is the worst option out of the 3, it should still be a Z at base. So when you're every time you're rolling with 1 slot remover, that's going to add to your total of getting above 10, 20, 30, and that's 10 chrono crystals, 10 chrono crystals, 10 chrono crystals very easily. This next one here is about friendship. I don't actually do this one, but again, it's another one that you can get gradually. I actually do recommend this one. It's something that you can do gradually every single day, and the small amount of chrono crystals builds up over a long period of time. Now, every time you increase your friendship rank, you get chrono crystals from that. As you can see here, I have my Fusing Super Vegito friendship rank 100. I'm a Vegito guy, man. But that's besides the point. It's very easy to increase your friendship rank, especially from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to about 5. Just keep increasing your friendship rank, and you can easily do that through Let's Fight. Let's Fight is very simple. You just play it 3 times a day. There's Let's Fight 1, 2, 3. As long as you're level 5,000 with 1 character soul boost, as in your characters are 5,000, it's going to be very easy to just get through. It's so simple. And then from just 1 Let's Fight, you can probably level up from 1 to 2. Now, that's only if you have the friendship equipment. You really need these. You're going to need everyone here to have friendship equipment. You can see my whole team has it, and it stacks. Now, normally equipments don't affect other characters. So if I put equipments on G4, it won't affect VEGITO or Blue over here, for example. But with the friendship equipment, there's a multiplier effect that applies to everybody on your team. So you need at least everybody here to have one. So it'll be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. You're going to need 18 of these friendship equipments. Don't necessarily have to get them perfect, but it is quite easy to do. I don't believe they're impacted by the bonanza, so you should just do it whenever you can gradually. And once you get 18, you won't need any more ever again, and then you'll just have one team consistently like this, so you can max out your friendship rank. I already done my let's fight today, so I can't show you, but it's very simple. If you want to know where you can get this, you can get this from the equipment medal exchange shop. Just try get 18 red slots, and then you'd be good. And then from there, you can upgrade gradually over time to get you the best team, just like I have right here. And then you just increase the friendship rank of characters that you like. So I wouldn't say going past friendship rank 5 isn't necessary. 10 the max, because friendship is useful for tournament power. But I just go to 100 because I have a bias for certain characters. So don't try copy me, because as you get higher, it's very unnecessary. And it's harder. It gets harder to increase the level, which is why going past 10 is so unnecessary. The story mode, very effective way. I think it's like a 4 or 5 in 1 by playing the story mode to get chrono crystals. I was actually playing the story mode on stream the other day to grind for the festival. I cleared out all of these. I think I had 40. I had to get 100 stars. But if you just look at all the stars here, there's a bunch, right? And essentially every single star is 10 chrono crystals. Well, 3 really. Let's look at part 2 here. There's 728. I always like to bring up the calculator. 728, and then you can times that by 3. Just in part 2 alone, just the challenges, not the first time clears, which is another 10. There's 728 chrono crystals, which is insane. But what's even better is for every time you clear a story, even the ones you just watch, you get a mission unlock here. You see here, part 16, book 3, chapter 4, and that's another 10 chrono crystals. But we're not done. There's here in the special where it says more legends missions, you get chrono crystals 100 at a time for clearing X amount of challenges, and there's probably going to be a bunch there. If you haven't played the story mode, what are you doing? I didn't even include the fact that when you clear the story mode, you are able to increase your level the easiest, because they give you those things that I showed, those yellow things here for your Z level. And then every time you increase your Z level after a certain point, it's just chrono crystals. Missing out on the story mode is crazy. I know it's tedious, but you should definitely play through it. Ideally, what I advise you do is build a 6-man team. Obviously, every team 6-man, but shall it be your first slot, then have one of every element. So blue, green, purple, yellow, and red. And then essentially just check the missions before you go in the challenges, so you can get every single challenge and just grab all the chrono crystals you need. Next up here, we have all the events, but there's a specific priority order that I want you to take in. Watch for the days left. And not every single event in this 4 tabs will give you chrono crystals. For example, in the upgrade, most of these do not ever leave. The let's fight is daily, so do that, and this is daily. But these don't leave. They don't go anywhere. So you don't need to prioritize them. The special also doesn't leave, so you do not need to prioritize them. Now the original series, there's 2. There's one up top and one down below it. They change based on the adventures that you need to get. Well, if it has a couple days left, you might want to prioritize it. These down here, they don't leave. Don't worry about them, but you can get a bunch of chrono crystals from Zenkaiing these EXs. But the recommended is where you're going to find most events expire. You can see the Sin Shenron event, you can get chrono crystals from that. It's going to leave in 4 days, you should prioritize it. The raid, I spoke about it earlier, it's got 6 days left, it's going to reset every single week. There's going to be 5 raids, you should prioritize it. And then these down here, these 3 don't give you chrono crystals, but the Zenkai Rush Battle does. This does as well for first time clears, I believe. You should definitely do Zenkai's Rush Battle, the Gauntlet, because it's going to give you chrono crystals. Focus on the days you have left, because if you miss out on the chrono crystals, that's going to be a shame, and then it's going to reset. So if it has 1 day left, you do it that day, it resets the next day, then you have a new set of missions to do. The priority matters. The order that you do it in matters. That's the main thing I want you to take away from doing all the events, because that's kind of common sense. PvP should go without saying, but if you can just get one good team and play consistently, you'll be able to get a good amount of chrono crystals. Even if you could just play 5-10 games a day, even 4, depending on if you win all of them. I'm assuming you guys are not going to win every game. I definitely don't. Well, you can obviously get chrono crystals from this at the end of the season, so it's every 2 weeks, sometimes 3. If I go to the ranking rewards, You can see here you get a rank based on, you get chrono crystals based on your rank. Aim for about top 10,000. That's pretty good. If you can get top 3,000, that's the best though. From that point, it's not really that big of a difference, I'm not gonna lie. Top 1,000 is god rank, and that's really excessive. It's really sweaty up there, and I'll tell you that for free. As a 56-time god ranker, I've stopped going for it just off the fact that it's not needed. The extra 100cc, I won't be dying for that, man. Anyways, you also get rewards based on your group. So if you're an S, which is the most optimal way, if you can get rank 1 in your group, you will get a 500 bonus, which is nice. But most cases, you'll probably just get 100, maybe 200, depending on where you rank. It just depends on where you rank. But yeah, there's obviously chrono crystals from the missions, and it ties in multiple places. For example, if you pick the highest mission plan, the Battle Lovers plan, you can get the most amount of chrono crystals. There's also going to be PvP missions. You see Festival Duel there, and then there's the exchange shop where you can get up to 300 chrono crystals from PvP alone. So it's going to tie into a bunch of things, which is why you should play it. In the same way I mentioned PvP, Tournament of Power is the same thing. It resets every single 2 weeks. You can get chrono crystals from ranking high. Now, once you get to 25, you might want to just do it all in one. If you join my Discord server, there's going to be a map and team guides that you could use to get high, or you could copy one of the teams that the people use here. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, because these guys are high pointers. They're using very specific teams and know exactly what they're doing. Even if you don't know what you're doing, if you just have a good enough team. Also, in Tournament Power I mentioned earlier, friendship rank is very important on your characters. So having friendship rank 10 is going to be good, and just get the equipment so you can have a decent run. You can see the chrono crystals here is pretty good. I get 1,000 every single 2 weeks. As long as you can place in the top 25%, it's based on your battle score, and the battle score number you see on the screen always changes based on everybody in the world. So I believe at the end of the season, it's usually around 86 million plus for 25%, which is doable. And you need to make sure you do not die. It's so important that you do not die in Tournament Power, because this game mode works on a multiplier. If you die, you lose your multiplier, you're clipped. You're not getting to that top 25% no matter how much you try. I would say if you need to heal, but healing will lose you a bunch of points, so I would avoid it, which is why you need one strong team. I'll show you my team right now. It's good enough. It doesn't get me major points. I get between 86 and 100 million, which is good enough for me. As long as I get my chrono crystals, I run regeneration. Got the equipment's decent. Everybody's friendship 10. I have stars in them because a lot of them are old characters, as you can see. But again, if you join my Discord, also other references on the screen, you can obviously find a team that is fitted to your account, and then you can start building from there. So many people sleep on hyperdimensional co-op. I know it's tedious, but they've made it a lot easier. It used to be that you need to play this game 3 times a day, but now it's just 1 time a day, which is fine. Very easy to do. Just do it, get the synced up rush, and you're good. You get chrono crystals from doing this for your first time, so when it resets, you get the challenges as normal. You get your first time clear as normal. But then getting dual coins is also important, because in the exchange shop, you can exchange your dual coins for chrono crystals. I've already done them, but they would show up at the bottom. You can get 3 sets of 100, and each 100 costs 1,500, so it would be 4,500 for 300 chrono crystals. And if you're just doing the hardest mode, which is very easy to do if the other person has good units, even if you have a free-to-play character, I could literally use Super Vegeta as long as they're boosted and the free-to-play Sin Shenron, and I will be able to clear this. Most people, you just get a good partner. Most people, even with bad characters, as long as your rush syncs up, it's very, very easy. Don't sleep on co-op. It's a way to get chrono crystals, and you can also get other things from it. For example, good PvP equipments. So that's like a 2-in-1. Missions in general are very, very important. I already spoke about them slightly when I went to the story mode. For example, the more Legends missions that ties into your Z missions. But there's a bunch of missions to go around. Like I showed you at the start of the video, 4,000 chrono crystals. If you want festival medals, I think raid is going to be the easiest way. But in general, don't sleep on the mission plan as well. The mission plan is all part of your missions. They all tie in. All these ways to get chrono crystals all like sync up in between each other. You play PvP, you play co-op. Co-op helps you in PvP. PvP helps you for missions in the mission plan, and there's PvP missions in the exchange shop. There's chrono crystals. Chrono crystals everywhere, man. Don't sleep on the missions here. Do your dailies every single day as well, so you can get the stamp rally. Now, the stamp rally itself, I had to give it its own segment. Just play every day. You don't have to play every day anymore, because it doesn't reset. But once you get to the 14th day, you can get the big 500, and within 14 days, it's 1,000. Guys won't remember this, but back in the day, there was no stamp rally. No stamp rally meant that in a 14-day period, I think we'd get only 700 and something chrono crystals. And that's because it was just regular dailies, and from the dailies down here, you'd be claiming chrono crystals. But now they added it to the stamp rally and you get different things on different days. But even now that it's like that, it's still more chrono crystals if you make it to the total of 14 days. Before they made it so that you didn't have to log in every single day and still get the stamp rally complete. Now your progress is saved, but back then, if you missed a day, it gets reset, and that's dark, man. You don't want to miss a day. So yeah, make sure you do this. It's actually very, very important. Now, you would not believe it, but your luck can determine whether you get chrono crystals or not. For example, in the login, every time you log in, every 3 days, you can get chrono crystals on the 3rd day, I believe. But there's also treasure battle. Here, the item list, they've changed it currently because it's the festival. These are going to get you chrono crystals though, the bouquets, so make sure you play that. Outside of that though, normally in PvP, if you just do treasure battles, you have a chance of getting 1,000 chrono crystals here, which is insane. And it's not here at the moment, but in the hoi poi section, you can get chrono crystals. I don't think it's random anymore, but at a certain point, there's Legends Limited Z power, which is what you're looking for anyways, because you want to get characters, you know. So I think that's pretty much it though. There's not many chrono crystal ways. The one I'm missing is the adventures on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. There's these weekend adventures that you can apply, and there's a chance that you can get 100 chrono crystals. That's the one that left my head. But yeah, 3 ways: the PvP, the hoi poi, but not anymore. It's just Z power, and the 3rd one is the adventures on the Legends weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, I am an ex-whale. I am no longer spending money on this game. At least not if it's like major content. If I do a collab with somebody, I might have to. But if it's me, I'm not spending chrono crystals. For example, my VEGITO summons, I was saving since Margin Vegeta dropped. I don't have any of the digger robots, as you can see. I don't even have the mission plan. The only thing I buy is the Legends Pass, but that doesn't give you chrono crystals. It's just so I can make content easier, you know. But if I was going to advise you buy anything, the most worthwhile thing is the mission plan. The first time you buy it, it's at a discount as well. The mission plan gives you, if you have the Battle Lovers plan, I believe it's 1,500 extra chrono crystals, whereas if you weren't buying it, you'd be only getting 500. Then besides from that, the digger robots are the best thing. This one gives you more chrono crystals for less time, but this one gives you less chrono crystals with more time. So it's like a double positive for spending double the money, you know. But they're both still as good. It's just that you might need the chrono crystals now, you know. So the silver one's obviously going to be better. Outside of that, this sale, the cheapest sale, it comes out every single month and when a banner drops. And then depending on if you want to spend more, there's the weekend sale and the monthly packs, which are best, but I wouldn't even recommend going that high and spending. I'm free to play. I won't be spending money for chrono crystals, but the Legends Pass is just so I can have easy access to like 2x speed and equipment slots for making videos and things like that. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Like I said, I haven't done this in a while, but I had to bring it back for the festival. This video is sure to help you. Use it. It's timestamped to your favor. Go back to where you want and recommend this to your friends so they can also get their CC up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.